test, 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 testicles, testicles. See how this is going. Testing, 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 testing. Is this working? Is this working? We will see. Appears to be working, but let's hear if I can hear myself. Hello? Okay, looks like we're working. Okay, so welcome. We're gonna do our first ever Blood Bowl 3 match commentary. Now, I'm not 100% how this actually works, because I went into a game to check, and it was like just straight up going, and it doesn't seem like I can control it, but I don't know if it started it at the beginning or not. So, what we'll do is I'm gonna go just fresh into one I didn't look at already, and then we will see how it works. Like if it's like middle of the match, we'll just commentate the rest of it, I guess. Because it's as it so happened, the match I chose was like at the start, but I'm not sure if it was truly at the start or what. So let's try to pick a. This is so weird. Let's try to pick an even match here, maybe. We got 925 versus 915. It's tempting. How about 110? Let's see. Let's just make sure it's not AI because we don't watch AI. 1024. Oh, we have a good one here, actually. Troop of the Greenskin. Oh, that's AI. Never mind. Nope, nope, nope. So this is the one I looked at. It was pretty close. Um, we'll try Gros Vert et Méchant versus SFC. So we'll go GVM versus SFC. Coaches are, as you can see here, Babar and Shatter Eye. So let's take a look at them, see where they're at. It's a low TV match. It's a nice introduction to commentary once again. So I am your host, Axel Haxon, and I hope you are ready for some Blood Bowl because we're back. We're back in the booth just like Blood Bowl 2. And we're starting slow, granted, because I was sick most of the holiday and my voice wasn't working well at all. But we're back and we're at least going to do one game. It doesn't seem like I can speed or slow down the live play unless there's something I'm absolutely missing. And if there is, let me know because that would be much appreciated. Um, but until that time, we'll just roll with what we got. Whatever this is at, hopefully it's at turn one. But whatever this is at, we'll go with it. So it looks like it's gonna be orcs, and if you can judge by the logos, which you can't always, it looks like it's gonna be orcs versus Elven Union. Low tier. Looks like they both came off coming off injuries in maybe their first or second matches. So it'll be nice to go with a low skill game to get us back. And here we go, 925 versus 915, and it's a mid game. Okay, so nothing much I can do about that, but here we are. Looks like it's turn 4 for the elves, and they're in possession of the rock here, as you can see. And they're pressured highly by these greenskins here surrounding them. And what is their play exactly? Looks like it is their turn still. They can still move the ball carrier. The Orcs are setting up a nice L sort of defense here, but there is a lane and there's a wide open receiver down the field here. We do have a mighty blow on the Orc side. Any injuries that we need to be aware of? Oh, actually 3 KOs on the Elven side, 4 turns into the match. It is a 0-0 game. And off we go. So we're just gonna have to commentate as they. Let's. You guys aren't hearing Jim and Bob, are you? Let me check. You guys aren't hearing Jim and Bob, are you? Let me check. No, it seems like you're not. Are you even hearing? Are you even hearing gameplay? Oh my goodness! So who cares? Who cares? We're just gonna commentate. So the runner here Etendil, he goes for the dodge and absolutely fails. So he's fumbled the ball beside his, like actually onto his teammate who failed the catch with the Orc pressure. Now the Orcs are in business. It's a straight Orc team here. So the Orcs have the chance at the ball, but they've got to be sure that they're not getting bodies here in the way of their maneuver. So they got to be careful about how they do this. They're gonna need to remove this player, and they will. So Gerlindra is going down here. Nice hit there by Azhag, and he looks like he's opened up a lane for Dushra. But let's see what else the Orcs do. Keen to get some hits in, no doubt. That won't do it. That'll allow a sidestep here from the Elven Blitzer. Let me just make sure I turn off all my audio on my laptop so that's not in the way. So the Elven Blitzer is going to sidestep. Oh, hold on. Wait. Wait. He chose. Hold on. He chose not to use dodge? Oh, he doesn't have dodge. I'm an idiot. That's sidestep. Sorry, guys. Getting used to the icons again. So this Orc hit may dislodge the ball, but no, he'll put him up over top of it. I am back to the let's call this a rookie season commentary for BB3, so it's going to be an adjustment. My apologies on those mistakes there, but there's 3 Elven bodies surrounding the football, and an opportunity now for Dushra. If he can remove this elf, which he will, he's going to make it a blitz move and probably go for this ball. If he can grab it, it'll be a significant move, and the Orcs will be in business with the whole flank side. Actually, he's going to bring the thrower in, who'll grab it, and he has it. On a 3+, he rolls the 5, and number 11 is off and running, and he's got a cadre of Orcs soon to be with him. Grushik is our man on the ball, and Elves are going to have all to do here to get in front and stop this play from the Orcs here. Orcs doing what they do best, surrounding the much less adept physically Elves in terms of strength, much less adept at the strength game is what I'm trying to say here. And the Orcs are in business. They've got every elf covered and then some, except for the one down the field. But you presume as they turn to turn 5, you presume that this guy is going to have to come back if he's going to do anything here. But will they even worry about that? Maybe Elves will just play around trying to get a miracle 1-die takedown and toss that ball downfield. I've seen it happen. So let's see what SFC does over against GVM, the Orcs here. It is on the Orcish pitch, so we've got to assume that the Orcs are the home team here. Unless the Elves have let their stadium fall into immaculate levels of disrepair, which I guess is possible. So, standing up here, most of the Elves already used, no dodge attempts to speak of. Not sure the move from SFC here. He's not going to try to squeeze out and make a play unless maybe he's going to go, I don't even know. Etendil, he can't blitz now. So he will bring the receiver back and tries to run the gauntlet. Not sure what the play there was from Coach Shatterai. Gotta be honest, I'm a little confused. He's led his man to a KO, diving into a rung of Orcish fists, trying to run a gauntlet between 5 or 6 of them. And now the Orcs in business, and they've got nobody against Lucario except for one guy here, Zelleran. But Zelleran is liable to be moved out easily, and he will be, because an Orc Blitzer with block is going to take him down. A large hit there, but it won't break armor. It doesn't need to, though, because the Orcs are going to be in business trundling down the field with very little to stop them from SFC. SFC, I think he played it a little too passive for me. When you really look at the playbook from the Elves, it's going to have to rely on, I think, several dodges to get in front of the ball carrier, get in contact with the ball carrier, and then try like a miracle block. Even a 2 dice uphill was better than anything we saw there. I would hazard to guess, and I think Elf coaches, if you're watching this one, it's cause for a little wonder. And he did move this elf here close to his ball carrier, but he'll dispatch him, and that's a 5th KO on the match here. They do have one elf in reserve, it would seem. Maybe he got pushed off the field. We don't know. Oh, and that will be a major loss. It's a elf down for the count. He is a serious injury. Let's double check him. Was it actually a blitzer that went down, or no? He's hitting the blitzer now. Yeah, he's hitting the blitzer, so it's overriding my attempt to collect information. But I believe a lineman is hurt seriously, and again, the Orcs in full throat of dominance here. Look at that! Look at that field. Will they score? Oh, they'll go for a GFI, a rush, and what a risk! And there's no tripwire, and into the end zone go the Orcs, and it's GMV, Gros Vert et Méchant. My French is terrible. Apologies. GMV with the score, and they'll go up 1-0 on turn 6, I want to say. And they're feeling good because they're impervious right at the very moment. Elves will get 2 back off the KO. But they're going to need to strike it. But we know that Elves can strike rather quickly, right? So we'll take a look here. All the blood you can see is, pardon me, on the Elvish side of the field. Not ideal for the Elvish coach. Let's see what Shatter Eye has in the playbook, though. There's still ample opportunity in this ball game to adjust his strategies and the way he's handling these things, and make some headway here. So the Orcs right now setting up on defense. You have to be the favorite in the Goblin betting circles now to take this game, especially now leading 1-0 with the physical victories they've already had in the game. 2 coming back from KO is not really a lot for the Elves when you've got 4 more out. But they did have the 1 in reserve, so they're going to get 3 more back. They're still down men. They'll go all on the line with 1 man back. Highly curious. Once again, I feel. I'm no expert, you know. Axel is no expert. I'll use my name in the third person. I'm no expert. I've been known to play some very strange Blood Bowl. I have to be honest with my viewership here. But he has an interesting kick here. Forget what I'm saying, because this actually gives the Elves a heck of a chance potentially here, because the ball appears to be going in a coffin corner near the wing receiver, and he can move his Elves into position, so he could get under that ball and have it at midfield. The problem is he doesn't really have any support. He's going to have to just YOLO run down the field, and I don't know that that's going to produce victory. But here he goes. He steps in under the ball, and we'll see if he can catch it on the interesting odd hop it's taken. I don't think that's the kick that the Orcs were really looking for when you really break it down. But let's see if he grabs it, and he does on the re-roll with the catch skill. So our receiver has it on the field. And as you can see, as we flip the camera, he has a lane, but the thing is he's going to have to dodge these Elves out to get them into convoy blocking offensive line approaches, I think, here. Let's see if he does, or what exactly his play will be. Shatter Eye's going to take his man down the field and double rushes all the way. He's just 3 squares away, just like that, 3 squares away from the end zone. And we could see a miraculous touchdown here, quite unexpected. But there's all to do still defensively for the Elves, I think, because he's in range to be hit. So what is the follow-up play from our Shatter Eye here? Excuse me again. I'm still getting over illness. So we'll go with a double dice, and he'll get a push on the line. That will free up 1 Elf, unless he's used the corner man, which I'm just going to double confirm that he did not. And he did not. So the corner man is free. So where will he position his first convoy member, so to speak, to try to allow this undesirable kick from the Orcs to turn in his favor deeply? We'll see. Now, will he try to get more men out is the other question I have. Will he try to get more men out and block his way to a few more openings? Or does he just sprint that corner piece out and go for the first touch block? Because what he needs to focus on is the blitzer, I would think, right? Yeah, this guy needs to close in on the blitzer, but he can't, because he'll instead go deep on the defensive to try to touch up with his own man, but it's a glaring mistake for the offense, because that's a turnover, and that means the Orcs at least have a shot as they get a lineman into contact. Not fleet of foot, but it's enough. Lineman into contact. We're going to get a potential crowd surf here if he can hit it, and he can. And that play, it really, really makes you question, because it makes you question whether Shatter Eye's the fit here for this ball club, because he had an opportunity. I wish I could rewind things here, but he had an opportunity to sort of bounce this guy out here and hook him on to this blitzer, or maybe even go here or something like that to sort of stop this maneuver. But instead, he goes all the way to try to double rush into coverage of his direct coverage of his own player, and it's a disaster because he lost the turn. He got no protection, and off went the player into the stands, and off goes the ball into no threat territory. So the Orcs, an easy cleanup playing sweeper at the back, and the Elves will have to go back to the drawing board. It's highly, and I stress, highly unlikely that the Elves will get a score before half at this point, after being 3 squares away. And that's painful. But not to be, I don't want to be too critical because again, I'm not a great Blood Bowl player, but you do have to wonder as a hit comes in here, a nice shot from the Orcs, but won't break armor. You just do have to wonder about that decision there, because it will cost the Elves a chance at a score, and that's as simply as I can write it, essentially, simply as anyone could say it. So let's focus on what is. So the Orcs are going to have the ball collapse. There'd be no shot, I would think, barring an Elven miracle over the course of 2 turns. The ball is all the way in the Orcs' end zone with coverage nearby. So let's see what the Elves do in response instead here. Do they push downfield? Do they take hits? Do they do a bit of both? That really is all the questions I have, to be frank with you guys, because those are the only options they've got. Where once they were so close to feeling like they could score, it's evaporated. Shatter Eye, considering his options here, he's got all Elves basically outstrength here. I don't even know if there's a hit to take. Maybe a dodge out will create a 1-die, 2-die scenario. Maybe he takes that, but he tries the dodge out to go down the field. It looks like he'll fail again. He'll roll a 1 on the 2+, and down goes the Elf. He will not be injured. However, it's feeding time for the Orcs here. This is going to be dangerous for the remaining Elves on this pitch. There's 4 of them to a thick number of Orcs. Certainly more than 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Orcs is my count. I could be wrong, but this is going to be a hit that's going to register potentially some damage here. Dushra. The uppercut lands, but doesn't do damage here. This one will also take down. These Elves don't have much in the way of defense at their current skill level. And every hit is a close your eyes and breathe sort of moment for the Elvish coach and Elvish fans everywhere. SFC in a tight situation. Let's see if we're gonna get like a chain push to increase the bully maximum, if you will, the ability to bully even higher. All these Orcs are gonna get shots at the Elves here. And again, all Shatter Eye can do is watch and wonder, did I make a blunder in the playbook? Let's talk to the offensive coordinator maybe at half and see how we can adjust here, because right now this is looking like all Orcs. Now this will end the turn for the Orcs, but and it's actually a huge turn there. They did lose a badly hurt Elf there, but they did get off the field. A net positive, you'd say, would be the loss of Azhag Scorpion, the Black Orc, who's now seriously hurt and more liable to injury in the future. So now I say it's a good trade for the Elf, is what I originally said. However, they barely have any Elves to begin with, and so losing another one, that's maybe much worse than the Orc losing 1 Black Orc. So that will take us to the half. It's 1-0 GVM over SFC, and the fans for SFC, they're kind of scratching their heads. They had opportunities, maybe several of them in different points of the game when we jumped in the 4th turn. Thanks for joining us, and we'll find ourselves in the second half, and the Orcs will kick away to the Elves. And again, if you really just want to look here outside of this blood spot here, which is the Black Orc, if I recall, all of this has been Elvish blood here. So that is the state of things right now. And again, let's hope we see a little bit more advanced play or advanced play calling, let's say, from the Elvish coach here to bring this game back level. He certainly will need to adjust his approaches. I know I've said that a few times, but I can't stress it enough, to be quite honest with you guys. The question is, what does he have in his arsenal? Elves' supply isn't exactly teeming at any time in their history or in Blood Bowl. So the resources are dwindling, we might say, for the Elvish coach, and uphill battle to face against a very, very stout Orcish team who's been able to respond to everything they've thrown within the span of 4 turns, is what we've seen. So Elves now on the field. So there is let's take a quick stock here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 orcs against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elves. Now, we all well know, if you're a Blood Bowl coach, we all well know that it's not difficult for one elf to be a huge problem. However, what we saw was Nuffle's attempt at the end of the half there to even the playing field with that kick. Went right to the man on the line with 2 turns left, and he sprinted, and he had a shot, it looked like, excuse me. But he couldn't bring it home. So, well, we'll see. We'll see what the adjustments made were. Shatter Eye going through his options. He'll drop 2 men back for the reception. He is only down 1, which is to say it's not impossible to draw a level here and maybe even win the game. We're in the season of undeath, and hope you're enjoying yourself this season and in this game in particular. Pardon me, I was trying to mute, but I didn't get there soon enough. Deep apologies. Let's see, the Elves have 3 on the line. They're going to need to do that. But will they stay body to body against the Orcs, or will they try to split further off? Let's see. They're going 2 and 2 on the wings. So basically a default T sort of formation as much as you can with 7 Elves anyway. You can't. You're going to need to put him back on the line, and he will. So we're going to go. He's going to go his side right leaning line if we're looking at his side. Kick is away. The ball will scatter further. It goes relatively harmlessly into the Elvish, let's say the Elvish final third about, or the final half. I'd say the final third of their field, about 6 squares from their end zone. So let's take it from the Elvish view here. What's the coach seeing here as he looks in his 2T formation? Lopsided though it is, he's going to go for the pickup immediately. He'll get it on a 6 roll. That's Kylian, the thrower, is now on the ball. That's number 12. So he is I think he's the extra man here. Yeah, number 12. Number 12 is playing quarterback, and there have been some famous number 12s in the history of American football. Not that applies really to Elvish ball in Blood Bowl leagues. And he is going to send just an erstwhile receiver down the wing. It's a 10 deal. But you wonder, again, we've seen this movie before, essentially. This should be a fairly doable cleanup from the Orcs. But then again, you wonder what other plays than the all go routes can Elves really pull off when they're down 7. I'm sure there are a number that other coaches might point to. Let's actually turn over to sorry, let me just get Marcus Smith on the line. Marcus, what do you think? Yeah, I'm really surprised. Really surprised, Alex, that we're just going to see them sprint downfield. We saw that, like you said, at the half. But I'm very concerned that this is the one note offense that we're going to see, and if that's the case, Axel, we're going to see a runaway here, I think. Yes, thanks, Marcus. I would agree with you completely here, and we will see a runaway if this is all we're gonna get. It's just this hopeful Hail Mary. Here's a block now from Gerlindra. He'll get the Orc down or not, because He went for the push, forgetting the block. Okay, so this is what level of coaching we are talking about here. So let's pull back our expectations here. Unfortunately, we seem to have found a new coach, which is okay. We're glad, but I can be a little less critical having seen that. You forgot block. It does happen to the best coaches. However, you'd think in the rare times where you're actually rolling dice, you would remember it because you don't have that many options to begin with. However, we are going to see a takedown here. Let's see if it's any consequence besides a takedown. Oh, and he does follow up a curious choice. He's now in between two biggins. Oh, no, a lineman and a biggin. My apologies. And that is an unenviable position for an Elves to find themselves in. So just two more players on the move here. One will squeeze in to support the blitzer. What will the last one do? If he's able to touch up the Orcs downfield, which he should, he'll rush to do it. That's kind of what we wanted to see last time from the Elven coach, and he'll try this time. It's actually a nice setup here. The Orc coach Babar should have an opportunity here to level some damage and get some bodies on the carrier, but we'll have to see because it's not a cakewalk necessarily. Let's see if he works the line first or if the play call is to clean up the offensive move first. Now, we're saying all of this, by the way, but the ball isn't even in those guys' hands. It needs to be said. The ball is down here, which is to say he could just clog the passing lanes as well with his Orcs, and that might be merry enough for everybody. This will push the Elf back, and those will lead to a follow-up block, more than likely, from the lineman here, but we'll go elsewhere first. Zathos is getting hit by Bagabrais. An uppercut lands, and a double snake rolled, so he'll stay on the pitch, but he is out of the play for now. Orcs trying to flex their might here on the Elves, as they are wont to do in almost any situation. But they can play ball too, the best of them. My greatest rival in past years was an Orcish coach, and they can ball with the best of them in any phase, much to my dismay. Now this will be a hit that is welcome from the Orc coach, a one die, and he gets what he needs. Will he get an injury to top it off? He will get a KO. So the Elves again in tight situation here. There's Orcs surrounding them aplenty, and that's the only option they really have got is this receiver deep route Hail Mary kind of play. We can't really expect to see anything else. Here comes the blitz now in from the Orcish coach Babar. Yo! Hey! Thank you for the raid. I've never had a raid in my stream. Now, there's a big hit from number 5 there, but it won't break armor. Now, the Elvish coach, he's seeing his situation. Thanks so much for the raid. I can't express enough how thankful I am. I've never had one. I appreciate you. My name's Axel Haxon, and I'm a aspiring commentator, and we're doing some Blood Bowl ranked matches. Welcome in. This is a 1-0 game, on turn 9, and we've seen, unfortunately, just to catch you guys up, oh my god, 59 viewers. Hey, everybody. I'm not on camera right now, but we have seen, unfortunately, some curious plays from the Elvish coach by the name of Shatterai. They have gone sort of, you'd say, from the rookie section of the playbook, including just a full sprint for a Hail Mary reception. But it is turn 10. Now let's see what SFC can do. The team coached by Shatterai. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Would really appreciate it if you click a follow. I do a lot of commentary, not just Blood Bowl. I do Madden. I do NHL franchises. I'm a very big franchise geek, and I commentate matches. Sometimes we watch computers play the matches, and I commentate through it. I also do play video games and do those too. Baldur's Gate, Battle Brothers, all this stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the game here. He doesn't have many options. 7 Elves are on the table at the moment. That's it. Just 7. 4 off the pitch. 1 quarterback way in the back half. And a bunch of Orcs trying to squeeze down on this receiver route here from the Elvish coach. Let's spin it around here, take another look. Thanks for hanging in with the raid, even if just for 5 seconds. It matters to me a ton. Thank you, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Very, very much. I'm a humble channel. Don't have much going on, in ways of in terms of like technical mechanics with the channel. I just want to commentate some dang Blood Bowl. So here we are. Now SFC, he'll bring a second option. I kind of like this move. Now he does love his rushes, and he went for two of them early in the half, and sort of fumbled away an opportunity to score late. Now he goes for two more rushes, and he's going to shift the quarterback to threaten these Orcs, I guess, to spill some of their coverage over to the right side, which they won't be able to do easily. Because Orcs, if nothing else, are strong, burly, and eager for a fight. But what they aren't. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. So what they aren't, I will say, is fleet of foot. Now, what they do have, however, is a nice six-speed blitzer. Here comes a blitz now. A one die, and it will become a stalemate here. I don't think we see a reroll. In fact, there are no rerolls for SFC. These are two teams, by the way, that just came off an injury. Thanks so much, Croslington. I appreciate the commentary. These are two teams that are coming off injuries. 900 TV. Their situations very similar, but the coaching level's different. Now, I say that again, but the Orcs are now in a bind because, like I say, we've got a number of space here. He can get back. Don't get me wrong. He can get back and blitz here. So maybe it's all for naught. But if he does that, perhaps he can squeeze some of the once the attention is played towards. Oh, I'm surprised. I'm shocked at this actually. He's going to blitz a big one up the middle to take down what is essentially a non-factor elf here. And he won't break armor either. So he'll trundle upfield and smash and add more blood. Oh, okay. Okay, so here's the play from Coach Babar and GVM. He's going to go all the way into contact with the thrower. What an aggressive play call from the coach here to just get in the face of the thrower and say, hey, I don't give a damn about your receivers. Try to throw the ball. However, the mistake the Orc coach may be making, it may be a mistake in the process, is a simple 2+ dodge out into continued play here. That would be the mistake, if it is one. So the blitz cannot take down the receiver. It's all going to depend really on the throwing range, everybody, I think, of the Elvish quarterback and what he can take into account. Does he throw to the receiver after the receiver's deeper downfield? Harder throw that is, of course. Or does he even run? Does he run? Does he scramble down the middle through this loop here, perhaps? There's actually more options than you'd suspect from a team of 7 elves. But the Orcish coach is doing all his best to physically dominate here, and he will get the blitzer down here, providing he chooses the right option. We've seen a couple of missed options at this point. Seaver has nerves of steel. You're right, Thulian. We're going to go to the bleachers for this. Thulian, we got a fan from the bleachers. As he says, receivers, he has nerves of steel, Axel. So those Orcs don't mean a thing to him. He can throw right into them. And you're absolutely right. He can. Overlooked by yours truly here is that incredible skill, nerves of steel. And you've certainly got to have nerves of steel if you're this gentleman here, Zellerin. If you're Zellerin surrounded by 2 Orcs. But he has it, and that could make all the difference. So the question now is, did we just see the first mistake from Babar? And can Shatterai, the coach of SFC, make the play? He still has both prongs of the wings of the field with receivers involved. But he's got to make the choice to dodge out, fling into that coverage, hope there's no deflection, and we could see an Elvish score to even this thing up. But it's all one thing to say it, another thing to do it. No rerolls for SFC. Let's take a look at the quarterback, number 12. It's Kylian. Can Kylian make a move here? Or Killian, if you like. I think that sounds better, so we'll just go with that. Killian, he's going to have to play ball. Not many choices here for Coach Shatterai, but he is taking his time about it. Unfortunately, I can't speed through or rewind or anything like that. I come from Blood Bowl 2 doing this And I really, really miss those features. I would love to rewind, show replays, and things like that. Like, let's take a look at that hit. Let's take a look at this. Unfortunately, don't have that opportunity right now. Hopefully, it'll come in the future. And in case you're wondering, I am an Xbox player, unfortunately, right now, and I'm still desperately waiting on crossplay. So these matches are from Xbox as far as I'm aware, depending on how the Cabal Vision works this time around. Again, I just want to thank everybody. The commentary in the bleachers, love it. The raid, unbelievable. Beautiful. You guys are beautiful. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful new year coming up here. Oh, and he's going. What in the world is this? So he doesn't move. Shatter Eye again, a massive mistake, an impossible blunder, but he caught it! I don't believe it! A massive blunder, he didn't even move the quarterback, but he bombed one on a -3, he had to have a 6, did he get it used? Yes sir! And the Elvish coach is in the end zone! Unbelievable! The Orc has gotta be beside himself right now! I can't imagine what he's thinking. At the moment, there was a Hail Mary from coverage into coverage a mile away. No attempt at a dodge move and then throw. And it's completed for the score. It's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. What did we just see? And Thulian, you're right. Nerves of Steel was there for it. My goodness, though, the decision just to throw it was not what I expected. And I was getting ready to criticize. I really was. Really ready to criticize there. And then we saw that. An absolute thunder of a pass, splitting the atoms through the air and into the hands of the receiver. And a score. So just like that, suddenly, the Elves have tied the game. And the Orcs are bewildered. The Orcish coach, let's take a peek. Oh, he probably is absolutely stunned. Can't believe it. He thought he had everything on lockdown. More's the pity because the Elves can do a lot with a little. You saw it here. So, turn 10. Orcs setting up in response. This is an interesting yet strange formation here from the Elvish coach. He's going to leave a wing shockingly open, and the Orc actually didn't take advantage of it either. He didn't decide to put guys in the open wing and rumble them downfield. I'd be tempted to put a big in there and hand him the ball and just to tackle me. But here we go. The throw is off. That looks like it's going out of bounds, but it will allow the Elves to adjust. But oh yeah, it's going to go right to the coach's box. Sorry, not the Elves. Oh yeah, it was the Elves to adjust, but they'll stay put. And sorry about my dog if you. So there we go. He's got the ball. That's not the kick that they needed, to put it simply. Not the kick that they needed whatsoever. But we have the ball with Borak. So Borak has little in the way of resistance down this wing. Number 6 for the Orcs here. Very little in the way of resistance. These are big moments, though. He'll go for a pusher. He'll push him continually into the ball carrier. Still, I guess he just wants another hit, which you can understand. And he could also get a blitz hit off of this as well. A 1-die, whoa, with the carrier and not a blitz. Curious. So the carrier will not move, despite this open field. He will get another elf off the pitch. That's a KO. Not. This is just going to be a push. But, curious choices. We're going to have a slow play here from the Orc coach. Biggin going to flex his might and shove back an elf and stay put. I'm surprised at that as well. You'd think he'd want to stay in touch with everything. Block will come to play here. A fist to the face. Won't damage the defender, but it will bring him down. A 1-die again. The Orcish coach, knowing he has those rerolls for advantage in those situations, he'll push and not follow. So there's a couple elves free. I don't think that's the ideal, though, is to have free elves, really. But he did want the double dice block, I suppose. Now the sidestep here will allow the Elvish coach to decide what to do and where to go. He hits him and follows through. So back to SFC now on defense. Has an opportunity here for a sack potentially. Let's see. The angle here is definitely doable. Sack is on the books potentially, which is why I find it curious that the Orcish coach did not try to move his passing piece. In fact, he didn't blitz anyone, which is odd to say the least. I would think for most of us here, but nonetheless, we don't ask for perfection. We just ask for blood and a good game. So there's actually more than blood that we need. Especially when we're tuning in on a random game where I can't vouch for anything at all being quality in any shape or form. But we saw a miraculous play, didn't we? We saw the first Orc TD before the raid came in, and then we saw that impossible, improbable bomb to blood is perfection. You're right, Tarek. Blood is perfection. You're absolutely right. The fans in the bleachers never ceasing to amaze, always with the best quips. Much obliged when it's just lonely old me in the booth bringing you the game. Well, I do have my friend Marcus as well. Right, Marcus? That's right. Thanks, Marcus. You sound a lot like Bob Bifford. That's what they told me, but I'm my own person. Excellent. Thank you, Marcus. Back to me in the booth. I'll toss it back to myself. And we see the Elvish, back to the gameplay, we see the Elvish coach shift slightly well, not slightly at all. Actually, he moved Elendil from being uncovered back down to over here. So, again, that was why I found it curious he didn't touch up or follow through those hits as the Orcs, knowing, yes, the elf can dodge on a 2+. However, we've seen Shatter Eye be hesitant to do that so far. Anyway. So this is what I'm thinking here. The Orcs will have to plow their way through some elves, which, I mean, on any given day, they're happy to do in the old world and beyond. The Age of Sigmar, the old world, hey, even in 40,000, what's that? I don't know. In the future, Orcs will still love to punch elves in the face, I think, based on what I know. However, they will have more resistance than I thought they needed to take, partially because of their own choices. Now here comes the blitz. This is a key moment for the elf, and another rush fail. And SFC just can't get their coach's vision executed. Again, a rush goes down, and that is a boon for the Orcish coach, Babar, in this situation. So Coach Babar now is going to swing the Orcish hammer, and will it shatter the flimsy defense left of about 6 elves that we have on the field? We'll see. A hit goes in, and it's a stun, so that elf will be out of the picture for the moment. This one, a push and a follow through. Markups are key at this point, I would suspect. Now, moving in support of the carrier. Another support orc for the carrier. Question always is, when do you turn the runner loose, or do you leave him in cage snare? He's going to make the blitz with the runner, so presumably now is when he's going to turn him loose. Borak will get what he needs. He'll take down Volker, the thrower, and will it be damaging beyond the move itself? It will be a stun, which is notable and useful for the Orcish coach. Now, where does he move Borak? Where does he tell Borak to sprint? Presumably down the wing, but there's options. He could do a jump cut into the middle. There's a giant hole in there. Less bodies, and he will. He'll shift to the middle, a jump cut by the runner, and he'll move into protection from some orcs. But there are prongs of elves as well that could potentially dodge out and still create a nasty situation. However, I really do like this setup from the Orcish coach. It's quite an impervious looking look. At least it's better. Oops, sorry. At least it's better than what he might have looked like on the other side. That's another stun. So the options for the Elvish coach becoming increasingly limited, as there's 3 players inactive next turn. He's only got 3 active, 3 and 1 down, so 4 active potentially. Yeah, I agree with you. Speaking of Kemrai, do you play tabletop at all? Because if so, I'm wondering if you saw the reveal of the return of Warhammer Old World and how Kemrai is in the box set against my favorite faction, which is Bretonnia. However, I will not be playing that, but still, Bertonia is my favorite, and Kemrai must be yours, and so that's a notable inclusion. They do need Kemrai. You know what? And I'll take this opportunity to say, outside of the commentary role. Oh, okay. Yeah, neither have I. Honestly, neither have I. I just follow it like at a distance. But yeah, Kemrai is coming back for the rebirth of the old Warhammer style with the old regiments and stuff, unlike the new style that it went to. Um, Oh yeah, nice, nice. Yeah. So here's what I wanted, Dindurio. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. But Dindurio, this is what I wanted. They called this the season of undeath, right? And we know they want to release like one frag patch in every season, but that's so slow. So what I would like them to have done is call it the season of undeath and give us undead and give us necro and give us Kemri, right? Or Tomb Kings, whatever you call them in proper parlance. Like maybe that's their plan, but I would love that like before this season ends, end up with all three undead teams added. Here's a hit now from the Elvish coach and a KO that's gonna do some work and then leave his man in contact, but it's severe resistance as well here from the Orcs. Contact is good, but can he stay? He's merely just a receiver, not used to getting physical, but he's gonna have to try his best here. Let's see what else the Elvish coach does. But yeah, so to me, if you do undead right for this whole season, that's all you do. Then let's say you release Necro next, if they even plan to. Necro will be cool because they're different now. They're much different than they were from undead. But like, imagine that. This is gonna be so deflating. It's like oh one season we have 3 months of undead, and the next season we have 3 months and it's necro. Or like if you're me, you're like, oh my goodness, another dodge. No wonder he's been so scared to do it. How many times have we seen this? For people that have been here the whole way through, how many times have we seen this really? Like he's trying to dodge out. It's the easiest thing you can imagine, and he can't get it done. So again, as much as I was critical of Shadow Eye's coaching approaches, it is a tie game. It is it is anybody's match still. Granted, the elves are up against it, but the team has to execute. If the team can't execute, if SFC can't execute the mission, then here's the situation here. A reroll needed, and it will pay off. It could have been a turn-ending situation, which would have been massive for the Elvish coach, who had two on the ball carrier and a potential to wreak some severe havoc. But a reroll pushes that through. So good coaching from Babar, yelling, make sure they stay physical. All they need is a push, just reminding his guys not to get carried away here, looking for that big shot. Speaking of shots, he'll put one in on an elf here, and we're seeing this slow but steady execution of the Orcs. But they got to keep in mind the turns as well, because there'll only be 3 left after this, and the fleet of foot lacking on the Orcs is notable. Their fastest player, 6 movement, and now it's not exactly difficult, but it's something to keep an eye on. You can't find regular players like physically, the physical version, or do you mean like video game version? A big hit here. Oh my goodness! And in the chat, can I get some skulls or something in the chat? Can I get some RIPs? I don't even know what I have. Give me something, because there's a death. A death on the field. Tendil, the catcher. We said his name a few times, and he's gone for good. Oof, that's a big loss for the coach. What platform? Thank you guys. Yeah, whatever you got, send them in. The bleachers, the fans raising their signs up, crosses, crying faces. Certainly, there's all Elvish. Blood Bowl 2 Steam. Oh, Blood Bowl 2. Yeah, okay. Oh, is it actually dead now? Then from Blood Bowl 3? I'm shocked. I thought it would still like prevail. And are you just looking for like league, like, because I could recommend, like I used to play in the Orca Cola Cup. It's like an off-site league, right, where you like sign up to their forums and they get you in a league, and they have like a bunch of sub leagues, and it feeds into the Premier League, like things like that. I don't know if you're aware of it. You probably are, but I'd look up OCC, Orca Cola Cup. They're a good PC organization, or at least they were. I don't know if they're running Blood Bowl 2 anymore. Maybe they're not. Um, yeah, a fumble as well, right? Yeah, fumble is a great opportunity as well. Thank you, Fumble. Should I say Chrysler? Fumble Chrysler? You don't want to play with randoms. You want. Oh yeah, you want to find. Yeah. So see, Blood Bowl can't do that, right? Like I tried to run several leagues, but it's so broken. Like it has so less options. Fumble is definitely worth, as in Chris. Okay, Fumble Krister. Okay, thanks. Appreciate that. My apologies. Um, bias, yes, but also accurate, right? You're also accurate, so don't worry about that. Here's a big hit now. No break of the armor, but there's nary an elf in sight here. In terms of defensive prowess here, because we can get 6 just running through. He'll actually take the safer route. Good on the coach. He'll go cutting inside his offensive line essentially and bursting out towards the left wing. And this is all over, but the crying potentially here. We're going to need to see a huge play, huge series of plays from the Elf. Otherwise, this is a 2-1 ball game, and Bobby is your uncle, essentially. Here's an attack just to shore up things. From the Orcish perspective, it'll just be a push unless he favors the hard coaching of a reroll. No, he will capitulate on that and say the push is enough, and he'll get him into another situation. A one die with a thrower, Grushuk here. You gotta love one thing about the coaching from Babar here and GVM, sorry, Grover et Méchant. You gotta love the coaching there because he goes for these dice. He really does. He goes for them. We've seen a lot of one dice on unskilled players. I don't know if that's wise, but it certainly isn't terrible. Now, curiously though, or certainly hasn't been terrible for him, is what I mean to say. Curiously, though, he did not make a hit on this blitzer, potentially because of. Oh, this is a key moment here. A double rush gets him into contact with the carrier. So Borak is not scot-free yet because Gerlindra is on the case. Now, can he get someone else for you? This is going to be a hell of a dodge here. A very difficult one based on what we've seen so far. The easy dodges have been difficult for the men of SFC. Here we go again. Another easy dodge absolutely fails. You can't write this, you guys. Another one. And no reroll. A baked-in reroll with their dodge, and it's still not enough. And not a soul with tackle. We're too early in their development for those things. My goodness, they look like they're dwarfs out here today, though. They're slew-footing these elves left and right, and that may be all she wrote. That kind of continued failure on the dodges all game long since we got here in the 4th turn. Now, question. No obligations or anything, you guys. Whoever's still here, whoever. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do 1 game or 2 games. If you want, we can check in on another game. I don't know what turn it'll be on, but we can do that if you guys would like. I'm easy either way. Like it's just getting started in my Blood Bowl 3 commentary, so I was like, we'll do a game and then see. We might check out another one and see what we can get. My only rule is obviously no AI games, duh. And also, if we can get close in TV with the options, then that'd be great. But yeah, playing against randoms, Dindurio. Yeah, you should. You really should. It is legit. It doesn't look like this. That's for sure. But it is absolutely legit. And there's so many teams, and it's just a great time. I've been meaning so hard to become part of it as well. And it's just one of those things I've never. Oh, I thought we were going to see double skulls there. The push will be enough, I think, to spring the touchdown if he wants it this turn. Let's see. 6. He'll have to rush 1 to get in. Will he make that call? Will the coach make the call? He will. Crossing the goal line and scores to take the lead. That's a good question, actually. I'm sure Krister can answer that. Yeah. I really wish I really wish to get through it. I truly do. Especially, I'm assuming everything managed for you, sweet. I'm assuming they have the new vampire rules. That's like my favorite team. So when they got released, I was like super pumped and bought that stuff right away for the tabletop. Cause yeah, vampires. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Day 1. That's service right there. Thank you, Fumble Krister. Appreciate you, man. So, the Orcs have scored. There's 2 turns for the Elves to do it. In the chat, what do you think the likelihood is? Will the Elves tie the game in 2 turns? Yes or no? What do you think? I used to have polls up here. I'll have to get those back and running now that we're back up and running here from the booth. But I think I'm going to go with an absolute no here. I don't see the comeback. There's just not enough elves to tie this game. We've seen some questionable decisions along the way as well. And again, we're actually waiting for the coach to put his men on the line. Um, Good lord. Yeah, I went and bought like all the tabletop stuff. Well, yeah, yes, you're exactly right because with the erratas and stuff, with the changes, how many people are actually printing those changes off and like using them at their tabletop? I know a lot of people will be. Oh, and as if insult to injury was needed, how about an orcish blitz to really shut things down here? A possible orcish blitz can really muck this up and make sure there's nothing left for the Elvish coach. Yeah, yeah, that's a really good point about fumble as well too. I can't recommend it enough. Yeah, even though I myself have never played a game. Oh, if they got more detailed, that'd be sick. I don't know if they do, but if they did, that'd be so sick. I think I even saw like there's blood splotches too, but I could be wrong. Here's a hit now. It could be an ending kind of thing here. Thanks for the 18 viewers still sticking around. That's a lot more than I expected would stick around after the raid. Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, I'm a Dwarf Fortress guy too. High five. Dwarf Fortress. No, but you could in theory do that with custom leagues. Okay. It's technically possible. Okay, cool, cool, cool. That's the one thing that this game didn't do either is, oh, look at the Orc coach getting underneath the ball. They could actually potentially score maybe. Although I think the lineman's shy of an ability there. He might need a faster guy in front. But the Orcs will get under the ball. They will fumble it and unable to snag the kickoff of their own. But the Elves have had a rough go under the eye of Nuffle with one or two exceptions. And oh, they don't look better after promotion, no. And there goes the Elvish hopes here. Another failure of a dodge. Another one, you guys. Yeah, Blood Bowl 1 and 2 did do that. I know. How criminal. But now you have to basically get pieces. Unlock gear pieces. No, that's okay. Don't feel like you need to promote, not stop promoting. Dude, Blood Bowl is life. So if you can get more people to play Fumble through this humble channel, which normally doesn't have many viewers at all, my goodness, go for it, dude. I have no problem with that. But anyway, yeah. So what there is basically what I do in Blood Bowl 3 is because you can assign gear pieces yourself. What I do is like, okay, if when they level up, I'll give them one piece of gear. It's manually done though, and a lot of people just gear their guys up at level 0 because it looks cool. But if you're like me and you're kind of like a role-playing loser like me, then you'd be like, okay, you only get the pauldron when you're level 3, bro. I'm sorry. Oh, and here's a hit that will end the game. A slug from the black or from the big end, and there you guys have it. A 2-1 game in the low TV. It was dominated from the Orcs since we got in. There was a shocking TD there. We're gonna have to clip that out, put that out on our YouTube channel and everything like that. But that's the game. It's 2-1, a Bronze League match, and it's taken by Babar. MVP goes to Gerlinda, and I don't know why it's showing me like the battle pass for somebody because my battle pass is further on. Let's check one more game, you guys. Let's check one more game. So if we go replay, I wonder what that does. I'll check it out later. But let's try one more game for commentary. Let's see what there is. And like again, I can't control what turn it's on, what the score is. So hopefully it'll be a competitive situation. What am I doing? Community. That's what I want to do. Okay. Community live. Okay. Let's see. We want a fairly close matchup. No AI. 1450 30. That's AI. 1000 versus 115. Yeah, I think that match has been going on a while. Rexy and We Know It. I might go here. Rexy and We Know It versus Black Mountain Rockstars. I mean, that sounds really good. So let's take a look at the Beast versus Danimal. So we've got the mirror match of coaches, so to speak. It looks like it's a dwarf versus lizardman. Should be an interesting tale of two factions that don't often meet in the old world. One in Lustia and one in the World's Edge and beyond. Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what we can see here. See if we got a decent game here in Ladder Season 3. I'm your host, Axel Haxon. If you're not following, consider it. You know, consider it. I'm just getting back into the swing of everything, so I haven't had a lot of commentary, but it'll be here. And not just commentary, like I said, other video games as well. I'm a big strategy gamer and everything. Oh, I'm massive into the lore. Yeah, massive into the lore. I'm into all the Warhammer lores, all that stuff. 40K lore. I'm massive into D&D lore too. I'm just a nerd, honestly. I'm a nerd that likes sports, so I'm kind of like, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm a Madden nerd. Like, I spend hours doing rosters and things like that. But yes, but to answer your question directly without rambling, which I find impossible to do at every opportunity. So, yes, I am a big into the lore. I agree. It has. Okay, so it's a turn 4 again. As you fancy it, we're here. It's Lizardmen versus Dwarves. It's Black Mountain Rock Stars, and it's whatever the name of the Lizardmen team is. Rexian, we know it, right? Okay, so we've got the Chameleon on the ball. He's got armor upped. Potentially, that's from a Prayer to Nuffle. Oh no, maybe that's a skill. Actually, hmm. Curious. I wonder if he took armor actually with him. He is a level. No, he's level 1. So yeah, he couldn't have. There. I have my answer. So dwarves now they're being pressured on their left wing. The lizardmen right wing. These red lizards. This gigantic Croxagore. Any injuries we need to be aware of? Oh my goodness, we've got a skink down. We've got a Saurus down, KO'd, and we've got presumably this man was kicked out of bounds and is standing ready for next time as the dwarfs try to push in to the ball on this concrete field. I agree. They are quite good. They are quite good. Here comes a big moment here to get near the carrier. He'll use the pro skill and fail that. Will he re-roll it? Or does he just take the push? He won't re-roll it, I don't think. No, he did not, as far as I'm aware. And so he'll get the pushback on the sneaky get skink. I wish people would name their guys. Oh, maybe this guy did. Maybe the dwarfing guy did. I don't know. No, the clown. I always name my players, you know? I don't know. Maybe because I'm into lore. That's probably why, actually. I know it's like painstaking, but still. Come on now. Some of these names are so bad by the generator, right? Anyway, so Rexian, we know, are now making their choices. They've got a wall of dwarves, but it doesn't look like it's undispatchable. It quite looks like they'll be able to do things against it here. Let's see. First hit. The Saurus. Tehenhaun. He gets a KO, a big shot. Rattles the cage of Fron. And he'll go out. The first dwarf casualty, so to speak. I don't know if that's not a casualty in the actual game terms. How about a Croxagore hit on Marek here? Tehototek with a big chomp. Oh my goodness, the teeth sank right in there. Did you see that? That was beard, helmet, and everything. He had it all in the gullet. How did his armor hold against that? Whew. That was a bite. I've never seen it look quite that good in this game yet. Here's a hit, and he'll take the push rather than the takedown. A curious call there, but I think he wants to get him off field, right? So maybe not so curious. Maybe this is smart. Here we go. One die attempt, and he will get him off. And what a coaching play by Danimal as he pushes the dwarf player. Dwarf player is so important, each and every one of them, and the fans will get to work. All 17 of them in the bleachers here. Thank you all for sticking around. That was a nice hit, and still supporting the ball carrier. This looks great for the Lizard coach right now. Push away the lone dwarf, and we got a chameleon that can make a move. Now, the dwarf does have some skills here, block, pro, but movement is down. That could be critical because if he handoff, or does he just? No, he just probably has handoff auto engaged. Now, so he passes over to the dwarf. So we'll flip the camera here. See what the dwarfs see on defense. There's not a ton of Lizard players, but formidable each in their own right. Here comes the blitz. That will be enough to take down the skink. The block coming in, uppercut lands, but it won't do any further damage. However, the dwarf can't move without a dodge here. He's got this Saurus in the way, and that's a problem because I'm sure he would love to have closed the gap on this ball carrier. I think he might have miscalculated there. Because I think he didn't realize, maybe he should have saved that. He's going to re-roll into double skulls, and that's a pity because greed was the raison d'etre there, if you will, because the push was a safe decision, the re-roll a risk, and punished. So, ball carrier, nobody on him. Runner on defense, less movement than normal. This is not what the Lizardman coach needs. Had an opportunity to really break things open. He double rolls the skull. The loader fails. The turn is flipped immediately back over. And hold your horses, Grandma. We got a ball game. Oh my goodness! Just when you thought the Lizardmen would make their will be known, the double both down the Kroxigor, and he can't roll out of it. So the dwarfs bailed for the moment. They have a straight line to the ball carrier here. A double dice. Oh, and does he have tackle? He does not. The blitzer does not. He's going to re-roll pro. He doesn't get it again. Now will he re-roll the pro roll? He almost has to, you think. He doesn't. So he'll take this. The ball carrier, Lizardman may be breathing a sigh of relief because they still have the ball. After all of that, it's unbelievable. Oh wait, he had strip ball. I didn't notice. The icons are different now. I didn't notice. So out goes the ball to the sideline. So maybe not a situation for relief on behalf of the Lizard coach. Although he has an opportunity here where the Saurus can hit, and he can bring this little guy in as well. There's some options. Provided everything stays status quo, which it's not likely to. We still have some dwarfs to flex their metal here. This has been great fun. I'm glad I did it. I was talking to my girlfriend. I was like, I want to commentate Blood Bowl, but I'm also tired and getting over sickness. What should I do? And I've been wanting to commentate BB3 forever. And she was like, why don't you just do it? And I'm like, yeah, I could just do one game, figure it out. And now I'm just like, whew, loving it. Thank you guys for making it even more enjoyable. A hit here. Let's see if he can buy any armor breaks. He can't. That 10 armor, unlikely to break even from a cannonball shot. Just ask my friends who played the Empire in Warhammer Fantasy Battles. A couple bouncing cannonballs did Saurus kill at times. There's another fist clamming down on the head. That will break some armor into a stun. Lizard goes down. The dwarfs removing options from the coach. Sort of blitzes now. Rexy, and we know it turns 7 times are running out to make this score. He has to get as far down the field as possible. In fact, you'd think a 7 movement is a big deal. Let's see what he does here. He can't really rely on the Crocs. The Crocs, he will call the blitz with the Crocs. A stunner in my books, and it works. He will get the takedown and follow through. The tail comes slamming in. It's not able to damage the heavy dwarven armor. We've got mega armor here in this matchup now. A big hit here. This is going to open a lane. Potentially here for the Lizardman to capitalize. Will he dodge this Chameleon out for the pickup, or the Chameleon has... what are those skills? I don't recognize them anymore. Is that shadowing? Yeah, he does have shadowing. Shadowing and on the ball. Okay, so he's a kick returner, right? I think he starts with those. Yeah, because he's level 1. Duh. Sorry, guys. Getting used to it still. So what does Coach Danimal do? Is going to spring his man, because he needs to get downfield in a hurry. Can't waste any more time. Needs to pick the ball up and go north, young man, with it. Considering his options, I do question the blitz with the Kroxigor, though. Like, I would have maybe blitzed the dwarf off with a Chameleon, potentially. I don't know about y'all. I mean, was this the play? Like, if you have a thought, let me know. Was the Croc score blitz what he needed? I struggle to see what that really accomplished, besides a major risk. But I'm just a commentator. I'm not a coach right now. A nice dodge from the skink. He's going to get him potentially all the way downfield for that last turn receiving option. Let's see if he goes further. Or is he just touching up that dwarf? Yes, that's all he's doing. And he'll dodge another through. A single rush. That was a risky maneuver, and he got through. Excuse me. 3 pluses aplenty. And now a dodge here, and should be a pickup. Yes, the Chameleon Skink's on the move. What is the scoring situation here, though? Can he score from this distance? Oh no, he's miscalculated. He's miscalculated because he can't score with the Chameleon. He'll need to get it to Flytrap, which he can do. So it's not quite over. Yes, this is Xbox Tizzle. Welcome. This is Xbox commentating ranked matches. Tizzle Bizzle. So he hasn't quite miscalculated. My apologies. He can score, but this skink is the only one the dwarf has to worry about. Moving the slowed runner into contact with exactly that skink. The dwarf coach, the Beast, he knows what's up. Oh, it's Torian Beast. I've commentated on Torian before. Back in the day when I was in Fable, actually. Awesome. Yeah, Torian. Welcome. if you ever watched this, there you go. So Torian's no slouch. He's been in finals and playoffs. I've commentated. So the Beast here, he knows that Skink is the only threat for a score. That's his only target right now. And he has a couple options. He might even be able to get the Slayer in on this blitz if he can somehow remove the Crocs, which I guess, well, he actually might be able to. Maybe. Oh, maybe not. That's a lot of task, actually, with these guys being canceled out here. Let's see what the play is. There's a couple options for Torian in terms of holding strong on the defense here against this last gasp first half touchdown. That all rhymed. Last gasp first half. Yeah. They're a hard team to play, absolutely. Yeah, I would agree. Cable hands are strong, but if the coach is new, yeah. And I think I've played them like twice in the video game form. My dad plays tabletop with me, even though like we still play together. I'm 34, he's 60 something, but we still play together. Oh wow, what a gutsy play here! It'll be a Troll Slayer. Woof. A Troll Slayer doing what he does best, and that'll bring down the Croxigore, but not an armor break. So he does free up a blitz here potentially on the skink that is the only threat to score. Let's see what he calls. But yeah, I agree. I think mine turned into disaster because I wasn't great with them. Krister though, I'll have to ask. I've always wanted to do an all skink team. Is that viable? I feel like it'd be so fast. Like it'd be so fast and dodgy. Like all skinks and chameleons and no Saurus. Has anybody tried that? I feel like that'd be cool. Not viable at all. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. I do ridiculous teams. Like I have an all zombie team on the rank ladder right now. Literally 12 zombies. Oh god, it was so bad as you'd expect, but it was very thematic. There's the hit that will deny the score from Sexy Rexy because Rexy, and we know it because he just doesn't have the movement in the best of days with the Chameleon. I don't believe there's no way he's gonna get there. So nice defense from Torian there to close it down. Like I said, he's not a slouchy coach. It doesn't surprise me. He'll lock down those opportunities. You'd have loved to have seen, if possible. I don't know. Maybe he was maxed out in his movement with the Chameleon. I can't quite recall. But if he wasn't, you'd have loved to have seen him use it all, knowing that he needed to create as many scoring options as possible. But as we are, so it is. It will not be scoring in this half. Let's see if he can do some damage to the Dwarf Coach in the meantime. No, I know chameleons don't really get used, right? But they seem like, I mean, they're bloat, I guess. The skills are kind of bloaty, I guess. Shadowing, it's like okay, and on the ball, it's like sure. They're fun if your opponent doesn't know on the ball, but if they do, they're not. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah. I still love the look of them, and like I'm that kind of guy. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. I'll play it. So that's why I don't win a lot. But yeah. So stand firm coming into play here. A hit goes in. Doesn't purchase anything long term. Besides a reminder that they're here still. They're still playing. It is 0-0. Options limited now for the Lizard coach, but he could potentially send a Dwarf off field. You'd think he'd like to do that here. Could potentially target Merrick. I like on the ball as like an NFL football fan, like American football fan, because it reminds you of like a kick returner. That's why I like on the ball for that. But other than the thematic coolness of it, what was it? What did it used to be again? Oh, kickoff return. I think kickoff return it was. Excuse me. In your last game, you played the Lizards on the ball, secured you a touchdown. Oh, beautiful. Well, you love to see it. So not entirely useless, but like you said, it's a lot of vectors of possibility. Here's a hit. It will it could potentially bring down both of them, but he'll play it safe, take the push. Which means I don't think. Well, he could still put the dwarf out if he hits with the Saurus, pushes him into the front of the skink. Yeah, he could still get this dwarf off the pitch here. Here we go. The push is what he needs, and will get. So a chance to knock another dwarf off the field. Oh, pass block, right? Oh my gosh, pass block was so like such an eccentric skill. You know what I mean? Like I rarely saw that ever. A double dice. The chains are on them, and he got it. He'll take the dwarf out with the skink. A nice play by Gay Topol as he knocks Merrick from the play. And can the fans do damage? All 18 of them in here right now. The fans get a stun. Thick Skull denies it. It won't be long term, but nonetheless, a nice attempt there. Passing is so much worse. People say that, and I understand the mechanics. I understand why it's worse. However, I will just add that I've passed a ton in this edition. It's dumb luck anecdotal. I got you. I know, but throw teammate has worked for me a ton, and passing has worked for me a ton. And it's been awesome that it has. But yeah, I do know that that's not a typical feeling. Here comes a hit from the dwarf coach. Could do damage. Ball goes flying, and it's not in the air. Don't believe your eyes. It is right next to the line of the end here. Right. Anything that risks wildly inaccurate is nuts unless you have to. Yeah. And have is yeah. Have is in bold or in quotations as well because sometimes you feel excuse me again. Sometimes you feel like you have to, and you don't really. Here's another hit from the dwarf. He's targeting the chameleon. This could be big. The 9 armor, though. Oh, it won't matter. The injury is in, and the chameleon is out for the rest of the ball game. Starting at the next half, a nice hit from Torian Beast, the coach of the Black Mountain Rockstars. And so that removes another piece of offense from the Lizardman team. Looking for another hit here. Should be a one die currently as things stand. Maybe allows the Slayer to do some work too. Now he's making it a 2 die. Here it is, the 2 dice, and it's thrown, and a hit will result. A block will go in successfully. Will it break? Fist in. No armor broken. We're going to be saying that a lot today, you'd think. Now, does the Troll Slayer risk the attack on the Crocs? Does he just go to the Saurus? He could definitely do the Crocs. Do it. No, he'll go to the Saurus, get the push. That will result in a second hit. And the takedown will go in on the double 1 die from the Troll Slayer. Always a threat on Dwarfist sides for sure. Won't break the armor, as we mentioned. Frequent comment will be made. And that will end the half. Another hit here. My apologies. A pro hit too. So he's gonna likely re-roll this just to see if he can get a knockdown. He fails pro for the third time in a row. Gozo does, and re-rolls it and fails again. So Gozo not having the best time showing his pro ability. Instead, he looks more like an amateur. An amateur. So 0-0 is the score as we head to a full half of play. Rexian, we know it, had an opportunity to score, but it was shut down by Torian Beast. So Lizardman on the defense. They'd have a light offering here of players. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they were rocking only a staunch 11. So they've got 9 left. And only 2 of them are ball handlers. So the Dwarf has done a good job so far of limiting the Lizardman's offensive capabilities. If he can take out 2 more skinks, it's gonna be real tough. That's the thing about Lizardman, right? That's where like to step out of the commentary role for a second. That's what to me I kind of look forward to playing against them because I know by and large if I take down the skinks, they're basically done offensively. Basically. Like by and large. So I guess that's where the disaster portion of your comment would come from, Krister. Is that indeed like if that is what you're facing, you're pretty much effed, right? And so I guess protecting the skinks is a difficult situation. Yeah. Right, exactly. It's easy to believe like you're like, oh, I can throw fists with everybody, but it's like, actually, you don't start with skills, and also if you lose your ball carriers, it's ha ha ha. Like even dwarfs are better ball carriers in the large sense of the team than the lizards are. Yeah, right. Yes, the Saurus need to be able to mark up more than hit. So they need to be able to move and mark kind of thing. Yeah, which maybe is why like I guess break tackle is not so bad with them. What do you? I don't know what you think about that. Not meaning to get too into the rules and everything here, but yeah, it's an interesting conversation absolutely because yeah, move and protect exactly. So it's that's a challenging skill because that's a challenging skill to lose. And oh, by the way, it's surely there's way more dwarfs. Never mind. The formation he has isn't accounting for them quite yet. Yeah, it so is. I used to love that skill, man. Damn, it's so much worse. You're right. Oh, sad days. Sad days. Used to love that skill. Play ogres, just break tackle on everybody. Let's roll. But it is worse. Maybe that's still something you still would do, but it's still worse. I don't know. I'll admit, beyond vampires, I'm a stunty coach, so it's like halflings, goblins, that kind of thing. So ogres, but also I do enjoy me some corn actually as well too, and not the cob kind, but the blood kind. I do enjoy me some corn blood bowl team. A lot of fun to play with like an entire frenzy roster. It's like one of my favorite things because it's just absolutely bat shit, right? Basically, it's just crazy. Tomb Kings yourself. Oh, awesome! That makes 2 of y'all. At least 2 of y'all in the stands today. Tomb Kings with the representation from all the way in Nehekra. No, Camry, not Nehekra. Sorry. So what did we get there? I just hit A on it without looking. Let's check the So deviate cheering fans, fan interaction. Okay, so who got that? Rockstar. So it looks like if dwarfs cause injury when they push lizards out, they'll get SPP. Okay, so something to make note of. Here's the first shot of the half. A hit. Saurus goes down. You definitely the edge would definitely go to the dwarfs. Obviously, in this situation, the skinks playing back because it would seem that Danimal knows how absolutely critical they'll be to his offensive possession. Oh, and that hit will rattle the cage and KO a Saurus. Every loss there's a big one. How about Dauntless failing and leadered through? courtesy of the leader at the back, the runner. He'll get through, but he still has to make a double hit, and he'll fail again. This is still very treacherous, and he wishes he didn't. He won't re-roll. Oh, he will re-roll. He burns it and gets punished. And that is a huge sequence going up in smoke from the Dwarfs. A ill-advised Slayer assault. Well, at least a Slayer assault that goes awry, let's say that. 2 rerolls burned in the process and nothing gained, relatively speaking. So, Lizardmen, a situation, an opportunity. Skinks aren't anywhere near the ball, so we're going to see some physical play here at the outset of the half, it would seem. Hit will come in from the spiked tail of number 6. That will break the armor into a stun. 1 dwarf out of action, at least for the time being. Now sprinting up is another Saurus and hugging the edge. The Kroxigor will leave his coach wanting more. The forgetful nature of these gigantic lugs, forgetting what the sport requires of him, and he will be out of action entirely until his next activation. Now here's a blitz. A push isn't really what they're looking for, but surely they won't re-roll this. They've tried this before, and it was punished. I think it was, or maybe it was the dwarf coach, actually. My apologies. Thanks to all 14 of you still remaining through a game and a half. Yeah, absolutely challenging to make use of that Slayer, yeah. I'm kind of surprised they used it as like one of their initial actions. You know? But like, I get like you hope you roll the Dauntless, right? I get that, totally. But now the I formation essentially from the Dwarfs here is what we're looking at, really a backfield I if you want to use the American football terminology. And they've got a line in front to the Black Mountain Rockstars, but the mobility of the Lizardmen, like you've said, Krister, great commentary from the bleachers. You're not a big Dauntless fan? Yeah. Well, yeah, the frenzy is real. Yeah, like the additional dice roll for sure, absolutely. Because you think your guy's a certain strength and he's really not, like naturally so. But also the frenzy in that situation was just killer too, right? You have to go? Awesome. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much, Tark. I love Frenzy too. That's why I love Corn as a team. Tark, thank you so much for sticking around. Appreciate you very much. Have a great day. Happy New Year. See you around next time. Now he's going to set the edge here with 2 dwarfs. Remind me, everybody, can you hear game sound or not? And if so, do you want to hear game sound? If no, do you want to hear it? Because I can't quite remember whether I put it on or not. I just sort of started streaming and just was like, oh well. My apologies if it's just pure silence in my voice. Frenzy is beautiful. Frenzy is beautiful. High five for that. Okay, so the dwarfs setting up in a five-sided die sort of like 5 dice sort of look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The dots, I mean, on a die. The ball carrier, though, is still exposed, so they'll try this blitz here to sort of set this wing up. No game sound or inaudibly low. Okay, let me, sorry about that, everybody. My mistake. I can definitely, let's see if I can, oh yeah, main volume at 0. Okay, sorry everybody. Wow, is this going to be like, hey guys, I did commentary, and then it's like no sound until now. So yeah, no commentary from them. There's commentary from me. Let me know if this is too loud. Thank you very much. I should have asked way sooner. But I hope you've enjoyed yourself nonetheless. Here we go. Lizard hit. An audible squelch from the... Thank you. From the... a poor roll here from the Lizardmen. They'll have to spend a reroll. They will. To keep the turn alive. Well, does he follow up here? Or does he just kick him towards the Crocs and stay put? Follow-up is confirmed. And he didn't. strangely did not kick him towards the Kroxigor. I feel like that's a mistake. But let's see. Let's see what the other plans are. Another push. My struggle is how to get hats on the ball, so to speak. But you can sneak in through here for sure. Maybe that's the move. But if that was the case, why not push the Troll Slayer over here? I presume he could have. I'm almost certain he could have. But anyway. And a roll will take a dwarf down. How much damage yet to be seen. A headbutt flies in and it'll take him down, but little else. Fans in full throat here now that you can finally hear them. My apologies for those audio issues throughout the majority of our broadcast here. Rookie commentary days, it'll be better going forward. We'll get polls, we'll get wager systems, like fun points. Wager systems, not real money. We'll get all that up and running like we had it before, and we'll have a great time here for Season 3 of Blood Bowl. And Kroxigor Fizz pounds down on the generally vulnerable Troll Slayer. Buys little, though, except for a lane, which is maybe all he needs, but in terms of armor damage, it buys little. Kroxigor the tip of the spear, so to speak, here. For the... Oh, we're getting a foul. First we've seen here on the Troll Slayer, and he'll buy a KO with that, but does he pay with a red card? He does not. The referee will not see this, and out goes the Slayer. What a move. What a play from Danimal, the coach of the Lizardmen, as we turn to turn 11 in a 0-0 match. And the runner staring down the maw of a Kroxigor in this concrete field here in the season of Undeath between Black Mountain Rockstars and Rexy, and we know it. Here comes one of the runners, the one with less movement than normal, and there's one without less passing. It's not as devastating. Here we go. A hit that will take down a source. This could be key here to spring the dwarves on the wing, their left wing, so to speak, the Lizardman right wing. Fist in. Follow-up confirmed. No break, but he doesn't necessarily need it. He just has to find a way to lock down these skinks, essentially, or maybe this whole area here, and then trundle his way, and we could be seeing 1-0, but let's see how it plays out. You never know. He will. He'll take a wide route to the left wing in the Lizardman half of the field. The midline is now crossed. The Dwarfs have two standing ready to either directly guard or apply pressure to potential attackers. Let's see what the call is from Torian. Lizardmen in a bit of a bind here. They still got movable pieces. They still got speed. They still have an opportunity to answer. But the Dwarfs could really mess that up as we go forward here. Lizardman cannot afford a failed turn, I don't think. A quick turnover would be a disaster at this point. Moving in, covering the down Sorai, and also adding a zone defense, making these areas impassable, except by the skink potentially, as we have a Kroxigor marked up. And more support. The rush gets him there. Gozo. And a blitz. And it'll take a skink down with the block skill. This could be major. Oh, and he's going to do the push and tackle instead. It will still bring him down. No armor break. Good for the Lizardman coach. Could have been devastating to just have one skink. But still, he needs the movability and might of Sorai now, I think, to dislodge this character. Let's see what he can do. One reroll apiece each coach to urge their teams on to greater heights. A single die to start things off. The balls of steel on Danimal. A headbutt for his pleasure, but no armor break. The roll comes in. It's not an essential roll, though, which is kind of like, whoa, doing that first. But he's going to get another takedown here. Opening up passages, taking down dwarfs, making them essentially out of the play. Oh, I missed what happened there. Sorry, as we see a rat scuttling off in the distance. What did we see there? Something. Or maybe it was just a dwarf moving around. Lizardmen. Do they roll the Crocs? If it's me, I'm leaving it to the very end. It's so tempting to smash that runner, though, isn't it? If you could. But, man, if that went bad. So, one skink will play zone at the top of the on-rushing dwarfs. The second also zones with rush. They think that'll be enough. They hope that'll be enough. With the Swords' help, it might well be enough. They can spin them around in this area. Hit with the Crocs. All kinds of options. But it's a passive defensive play for the moment. They'll have to be fine with that, I think, the Lizard coach, because they do have the speed with these two individuals here. Actually, with everybody, they have the speed. But they have the speed and ball handling here to make a quick turnaround of situation. A nice zone D here. And a blitz coming in, a wide lane. The Sorso able to do it, but he fails the rush. Re-rolls it. There's no more re-rolls. No more ways the coach can urge them beyond their own. Felix, a hit, and he's in contact with the carrier. A major play from the Lizardman side. This is a complicated thing now for the Dwarfs, because if he wants to remove the Saurus, he'll have to do it with the runner. But if he wants to remove the upper zone, well, I'm sorry, you won't be able to do both. You won't be able to do both things. So a beautiful attempt here at covering up the Dwarven advance from the Lustrian Lizards. Clad in red versus the midnight blue, I think, or purple. Let's see. Oh, it's a midnight blue. I'm gonna say midnight blue for the dwarfs. Yeah, actually, based on the logo, it's definitely midnight blue. Here comes the hit. This will bring down the Sorai. That's the blitz used up. So the runner may be keen to just sort of let things play out. Let's see what he does, though. Hit goes in, and it will KO a Saurus. A major occurrence. Anytime lizards are losing bodies, but there's no answer for the skinks yet. They're just going to have to hope the zone D of the dwarfen kind holds up here and it protects their ball carrier. A one die rolled off. A push, the result. Follow up or no is the question. He'll stay put in contact with Sorai. So there's a free Sorai now, but what can they do? Free Saurus, excuse me. Now, moving into contact with the Croxagore. 3 dwarfs versus 1 Crocs. That's only good for 1 die, but how about it? A push. That's not quite what he's looking for, but it does get the runner free with the rolled ankle runner nursing an injury for the rest of his career, essentially. What is he going to do with the runner will be the question. Probably just bring up the rear, but we'll find out. Could pressure Skinks. I don't think he has enough movement, actually. It's a nice effort by the dwarf coach to sort of push back against the lizard defense. We're not going to have any miraculous scores all of a sudden here, but nonetheless, still a nice job. There's a hit coming in. It won't break armor, but it does break the Saurus' footwork. Down he goes into the concrete. Turn 12 now. What do the lizards do? They have possible opportunities, but they're not all clear-cut. In fact, none of them. Well, maybe we see this removed here, and then the Crocs removes this, and then we see a Saurus come in and blitz. We'll see. If I wish I had a telestrator like John Madden, I'd just draw the lines, you know, instead of like moving the square. But standing up is 1 Saurus. The safest of moves first from Danimal, as it should be. Fans waiting for the biggest move of the match for Lizardman potentially here. Or are they content to just sit in this zone? Here comes a Skink adding pressure in. Needs that 2 dice. He will get it there. Now does he follow? I think the answer should be no, but he goes with yes. I just worried that cutoff space that he might need. But we'll see. Maybe I have a different view of things than our coach does, Rexy. The coach of Rexy, and we know it, which is Danimal. Still has a blitz with which he could target. Oh, sorry. I was thinking the Dwarf coach. I was going to say the Dwarf coach could really target the Skink and could be in trouble. He'll blitz. Basically useless. Oh, it will. Actually, no. It will free up a Sorai. Okay, actually, let's see what he does with that before we critique it too hard. Excuse me. The hit is made. No damage, but he does put him into contact. The Sorai still has about 3 or 4 movement left, and he uses it effectively. So this actually could be really nice from the Lizard coach, apart from my brief moment of thinking I should criticize it. They'll bring a Sorai deep. And it's going to be real tough, actually, for the Dwarf coach to make hay of this. Crocs gets in. He will do very little. Stand firm, keeps them in contact. That'll be enough. He'll leave the Skink in zone on that wing. Now, quite interested to see. Well, really, all he has to do is attack this lane and sort of hope. I think that's what you do, right? You're obviously going to blitz this Skink and sort of try to close this off. We see if that can be done easily, but take a quick look around. Here it is, the big moment. The blitz comes in. The push will have to do for now. Just was hoping for anything but a skull or a push, really. Could block, could tackle, but he didn't get what he needed fully. Will move him out of the zone lane, or zone providing a lane, rather, on the edge of the pitch. But this lane is not without its concerns or fraught perils, with a bunch of lizards bearing down on the dwarfs. Let's see if he elects to stay hugging the side. Could be dangerous if so. He will stay put rather, in that position. Dwarfs ever favor defense, and they will show that even on offense. Moving more bodies in, really congesting this area. This looks nice for the Dwarf coach, actually. Slow and steady. Valha, the destructive, on the football. Incoming is a guard. Dwarf rushes and gets where he needs to. That will allow for a 1 die against that Sorai if desired. It will be taken, and it will succeed, bringing down the beast. Fist in. No break, but with just 1 Sorai free to move, we're going to get another single die, and wouldn't you know it, it comes up good for the Dwarf coach. Apricot lands. Another Sorai out of the picture. Few options here in turn 13 for Rexy, and we know it. Let's see what Danimal has in store in the playbook for them in this situation. Dwarven half shell, essentially, on the sideline. Standing up 1 Sorai. Double dice coming in here. It's the Sorai making it happen. Follows up into it. So touching some of the guardians of that dwarf. Now what? The runner's still free, and he could rush all the way if he feels like he needs it immediately. Let's see. This is key moment here. Skink touching up. Possibly a Source Blitz coming in, I think. Why touch up if that's the case? A 1 die! Instead, that's what he goes for. The 1 die with the Skink. A gutsy play if ever there was one. No reroll 1 die against block. Pardon me. a stunning risk and at least partially successful. Does not move into contact, however, with the Dwarf ball carrier. Keen instead to stay on the periphery. See if he'll regret that. Here comes the big moment, the big blitz. It will land. A POW is rolled. In comes Tehototek with the sail, golden shimmer, and brings down the Dwarf and is in contact with the ball carrier now. And just 3 turns left for the Dwarf coach to make a score out of this. And what a match we've had actually here. Really to the wire, really to the edge. It's been passive at times, but you'd have to expect that from this matchup, I would think. Danimal's, every time I start to doubt Danimal, he's doing everything he can to really stay in it. Up comes the blitz, 1 die, a push that will allow the potential score on 2 rush if he wants it. Oh, but he doesn't follow up. That's a mistake. Oh, okay, he's going to do that. That's fine. My mistake. My mistake, not his. So, does he take the double rush? If you're the coach, do you do it? Do you take the double rush with 1 reroll, knowing... Let's see, here it is, the play. Valha stopping to look. Does he push his Achilles to the max here? I think you got to, don't you? Don't you just got to do it? Oh, he doesn't. Playing conservatively will not go for the score. Gonna have to hope he's able to hold the Lizardman coach in his grasp. Is that a decisive decision? Does that change the outcome of this future? We're about to find out. Stay tuned. Considering other options down near the half of the field. A double rush, and he covers the skink. That's another, single rush, excuse me. That's a nice play there by Torin to try to make up for, not make up. Oh, a rush is going to fail here. He'll re-roll it and succeed. Don't know if that was necessary. And he will roll the skull. And no opportunity to evade. Now, does that make a difference? Because that potentially leaves a dodgeable, well, it always was available, actually. Yeah, the markup, not sure there. Excuse me. A gutsy Saurus dodge could happen. Oh, no! Oh, he has block. Excuse me, guys. He's lucky to have block there, because that was game over. If that turn was over, because then no re-rolls at all left for the coaches. Just steps away from the end zone. Do you do a Saurus dodge? A 5+? No re-roll. Oh, that's so scary. Oh. But you could do it. You could do it and bring the carrier down with a bit of luck. Afraid of Nuffle if you're a Lizardman fan here. Rexian, we know it, takes a roll here. Will push back. So I think he'll try to get the skink in contact. Oh, skink in contact, but it's not going to be easy to do. I thought he was pushing the other Dwarf away, which I thought probably would have been better if he was able to. Could have freed the skink up. Now the skink still faces a difficult situation. How about a triple dodge? Out and loose. What a play there by Topo. And another. A blitz. And he doesn't have block, so it'll bring the ball carrier down. It will end the Lizardman turn. It will hurt the runner. It will hurt the runner. And that is a game-changing play no matter what happens after. Because the Dwarf coach, he's trying to get that runner back, but he won't stay on the field. Land on the Lizardman's body, and it's still in touch of the Lizardman skink. So, not impossible. They have other runners. The play can still be made for the score, but he made it about as hard as he could. Sort of a Sorai dodge. It's to the wire. It really is. Let's take a look at the Dwarf view of things. Here's the key blitz. Double dice. Push. Excuse me. Oh, God. That's why I was worried about commentating. Hey, everyone. But this will be all he needs, right? Except the only runner he's got is one with less movement. So he'd have to rush if he wanted to score this turn. But he has to pick it up first. That's besides the point, right? But because of the ankle injury, the pickup, it's in, the rush, it's in, and Torrent Beast makes it out of that jam. Rexy and we know it, they did all they could, but the Dwarf is downing a Bugman Brew in their end zone. And you know what that means? It's a 1-0 game for the Dwarfs. What a sequence. What a series of plays. And I don't know that 2 turns will be enough for Coach Danimal. Whew. Man, that's a risk. But he got there. And that's Blood Bowl. 2 turns remain. The Lizardmen have the speed, but do they have the means this time? There's 2 skinks aboard. A wide sort of M formation, if you allow me to say, for the Dwarf coach. It's all ball time for the Lizardmen. But what can they do with just 2 skinks? My goodness. Very, very little. One as receiver, one as the quarterback. It's got to land right for them. Unless you just hand off to a Lizardman and hope you roll, to a Sorai and hope you roll a 5+. Sorry, everybody. I really apologize. This will be my last game today. It's a little harder on my voice than I thought. But I've had a lot of fun, so thank you, everybody. We're going to come right down to it here. Going to go for the L formation with the Sorai. But where, oh where? Now, having the Sorai behind the Crocs, does that make a difference? Is that the right play? I think maybe the skink here is the right play now, right? Strange. I would love to put the skink where the Crocs is myself. Drink some water. Yeah, I definitely need to. I have some here, so I will do that, actually. Thank you. Good suggestion. Good suggestion. And the kick is away. Key moments here. And it's a quick snap, which gives the, sorry if you could hear the water drinking. I didn't mute because I didn't want to mess my thing up. So a quick snap allows a bit of movement for the Lizardman coach, but he brings the skink further back. I don't know. You've got 2 turns. Every square forward would be, I think, critical, wouldn't it? I mean, I guess at this point you're looking to hand it off to as a fleet-of-foot burly guy, I guess, right? Ball bounces towards the Lizardman center. So, no re-rolls, all to do. 2 turns. This is essentially a 2-minute warning in the NFL. Is it going to be a miracle draw? Blitz is on. It will land. What follows it will be the more important question. A fist. A Dwarf stunned. 1 out of the picture. Now what? Does he send his Sorai downfield? Is that what we're looking at? He can make it. You can make it a scoring threat for whatever that's worth to you. A 5+ scoring threat. Nope, he'll touch up. Oh, and that's what you can't have. That's going to ruin everything here. The end of the road. For any score, you'd have to think. Ah, yes. Okay, Skink's in range when he's here, but that will terminate it all. You'd assume, except for maybe a sore-eyed dodge catch in the end zone. But that's the stuff of legend, right? So Dwarf's gonna hit back. On their final turn of the match. Source is the only shot now, yep. So really all we need to see is the Troll Slayer come down in on him. 2 pushes is all we need, essentially, I would assume. Yeah. One push would be all we need. Here he comes, maybe. Nope. Other hits first. This will bring down a Sorai. A Saurian, if you will. Yeah, if they bring down the block Sorai, they won't blitz him. They don't fear it, evidently, is what I'm seeing. Perhaps rightfully so. The Skink, though, they'll get 2 SPP out of that. Valha will snag himself a Lizardman injury, and they'll just simply cover up, which is arguably all they need to do, right? Now, that's not really going to do anything there, right? I mean, it's all this guy, right? Oh, they will bring him down. Wait, how? Oh, they had... Oh, yeah, because he touched up, right, yeah. Okay, I misread that situation. I thought he didn't have a move against the Stars. So that will end it. There's no... Hey, Tiffany, I'm not feeling great, but I'm pushing through. Thanks for popping in. I'm pushing through, still coughing, still struggling, but I wanted to do some commentary, which is maybe not the best idea when I'm sick, but... Sorry I haven't texted you back, by the way. I do want to play some Lethal Company. I just kind of been antisocial like usual. Here's a Croc score hit. Won't do anything. I think that's all you're going to see here today. It's going to be a Dwarf 1-0 victory, and it was a nice game right to the edge. Ball pickup, tries for the throw, needs a 4+. But it needs a 6, excuse me. But rolled a 6. So what do we do? Oh, it's a Dwarf interception. My apologies. Okay. Dwarf interception attempt. The pass is succeeding. No, I don't hate you. I love you. Forever. That's the honest truth. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Now... What do we have going here? Don't tell me. Imagine this freeze. Like, did this just freeze for them? Hopefully not. Oh, there we go. The catch not made. And the end of the game is here. And thank you all so much. The Raiders that stuck around. Much love, much respect. 12 of y'all. As the Dwarfs take the victory. That will end the stream for now. 2 games in the books. We had a Platinum Dwarf. The victorious one. Against the Gold Lizardmen. Congratulations to each coaches. Yeah, I will, Krister, and thanks so much for the thought processes and all the interesting discussions. I hope to see you again next time out. Troza, sorry that I'm finishing up just when you got here, but I really appreciate seeing you. Yeah, you're right. It will be. It will be. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. We'll do better next stream. Less coughing, more sound. I had fun. Thank you all. Love you guys. Happy New Year. Yeah, you too, Troza. Thank you.